What's up? You got your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe, because today we're going to be talking about Roland. Now, Roland's been pretty active lately. They released their Phantom O keyboard and they released their Juno keyboard recently, and they've been doing pretty well. Well, not a lot of folks is talking about their apps, their software. Roland has a Zen Beats software, and it's a pretty cool little application. You can use it on pretty much any iOS device. The layout is you have a grid screen, and underneath it, it has kind of like a pad-like section. And basically you choose the sounds and you hit the pad and the notes will play out on the screen, which is pretty dope from Roland. The thing is, it's recent update. Now, it's not that the update is bad, but it's kind of seems a little familiar, if you know what I mean. The layout of it looks very, very similar to the Akai Mpc app. Remember back in the days, the Akai Mpc? Well, this new Zen Beats layout is like an Akai Mpc 2.0. You know, it takes a lot of the great qualities that the Akai Mpc had and it kind of updates it, you know, gives you an updated version of it in a way. Even the layout, how it had a lot of the settings on the left of the screen. On the Zen Beats, you have it on the left of the screen and to the right of the screen. On the Akai Mpc, once you sample into a pad and you touch the pad, you can chop it up and arrange it the way you want to arrange it. Same thing on the Zen Beats. If you put the sample on a track, you could chop it up and arrange it the way you want to arrange it. And even on the Akai Mpc, where each pad you can EQ it, add different kind of effects on the pads and everything, just go crazy with it. You could do the same thing on the Zen Beats. Roland's kind of acting like the Me Too kid. Now, I don't mean the Me Too, the movement that gets you canceled nowadays. No, I mean the Me Too as far as, you know, that kid in school that watches you, you know, like when you come in with your starter jacket, all of a sudden, give it 2 days later, and he comes in with the same color starter jacket. Like, hey, I seen you got that blue Yankee starter jacket. Hey, I got one too. You come in the next days with a fresh pair of Barclays. Then during the lunch period, he goes back home and all of a sudden he comes in with the same color pair of Barclays. And he's like, oh snap, you got the purple and black Barclays? Me too. Roland's starting to be that guy. But all in all, the Zen Beats does look pretty good with the new update. It's kind of like a homage to the old Akai Mpc app, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? In other news, Akai, yes, Akai is coming out with their 2.11 update. In this update, you get a set list. A set list. So now, if you're on your MPC Live or your MPC 1 or X and you're doing a live performance, you can set up your instruments or your beats, your sounds, whatever you're doing, the way you want to set it up. So that it's much easier to just program live. You're also getting a key span. So now you can pretty much dictate the key span within the notes that you're playing. So if you want a bass sound on one of your set lists and you just want to play the lower notes of the keyboard, you could set the range of that particular sound just to play the lower notes. Or if you want to play the higher notes of some strings, you can set the key range on the higher notes. So now all you gotta do is just enter the program and do your thing, start playing. You don't have to go to the different banks to find, you know, the high notes and the mid notes or anything like that. It's right at your fingertips. And you're also getting probability. So now when you're playing your drum patterns or whatever notes you're playing, you can add probability to it. So we can add a lot of more variation to your live performance and things. I think probability is really dope. The BeatStep Pro, I use that and it has probability on it. And let me tell you something, you can come up with some real dope loops and some dope sequences and arranges using that probability thing. So that's That's a pretty nice addition to the MPC 2.11 update. And on the MPC 2.11 update, they let you customize your menu screen. This is important. This is very useful because MPCs like the MPC 1 and the MPC Live, they don't have the layout, the full layout like let's say the X does, where you have all the buttons you need right, in front of you. Most of the time you're gonna have to do a little bit more button clicking to navigate through the machine, you know what I'm saying? So it's really useful that they let you customize the menu the way you want to so you can get to different sections fast. Now, last but not least, Pro Tools, the industry standard. What's going on with Pro Tools? Avid, talk to me. What are you guys doing? Pro Tools recently updated their software with Pro Tools 2022.4. They have Pro Tools Artist, Pro Tools Studio, and Pro Tools Flex. But my real problem with Pro Tools is that they added these new plugin instruments, SynthCell and GrooveCell, but it's just not doing it. It's just not doing it for me. SynthCell is like a synthesizer, a virtual instrument synthesizer, when you can manipulate the sounds, oscillators and things, and it's so-so. And GrooveCell is kind of like a virtual pad sampler. And you put the samples on the pads and you play them out. The thing about it is it's nothing new, nothing refreshing. It's the typical things you've been seeing in virtual instruments for like the past 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's just, I'd like to see Pro Tools do something new. It's just kind of unfortunate because this used to be the industry standard. There was a time where if you did not know Pro Tools, you wouldn't be accepted in a ton of studios out there. You know what I'm saying? Now times, of course, has changed. People use Logic, they use Ableton Live and everything. Before, it was a requirement for you to know Pro Tools. They were teaching these things in colleges. They were teaching you Pro Tools. This was the basic stuff that you had to know if you wanted to be a music producer working with software. And as of like the past 5 years, they haven't done anything exciting. They let FL Studio take the baton and just run with it. Avid is a great example of a company that needs new young energy. They need new young blood. Now, even though I don't use Pro Tools per se, I still want to see it return back to its glory days, I mean, Jizza made an album called Pro Tools. That's how dope Pro Tools was back in the days. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about the Roland, Akai, and Pro Tools updates. Let me know what you think. Alright, so this is your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. And I'm signing off.